Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to create one more project in SwiftUI, and there we will learn how to create this type of graph in SwiftUI. So basically if you want to show some reports in your project, so you can show this type of bar graphs in your app. So if you are new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button to get the latest videos from SwiftUI community and to stay updated with the latest features in SwiftUI. So let's get started and create new Xcode project and see how we can do this. So make sure you are using Xcode 12 and above. So currently it's in beta. Make sure you select the iOS here and select the app. Let's name it as bar graph demo. Make sure the interface is SwiftUI, lifecycle is SwiftUI app, and language is Swift. Click next and let's save it on our desktop. Okay, so as you can see here that to create a graph we need some data like this number of articles, then how much article that much of height we need to increase, and the year. So that is basically some data which we will be get initially from some API, but for this example we will consider that we have that data with us. So for that what we will do is we will create one file. Let's create that new file and it will be a normal Swift file, and let's name it as a report. So since we are going to show report, so let's call it report. Okay, so now inside this we have to create a struct. Let's name it our struct as report. Okay, so what data we are going to have in our struct? So basically we are going to have year, which will be of type string. Then we will have number of articles, so let's say articles, and it will be of type double, which is basically nothing but our height, or you can say this data for the bar graph. Okay, so we have the data, but now instead of calling the API we will create our data here inside the app only. Static function, let's say all, and it will return us an array of report. Okay, so let's return the array of report here, and to add some dummy data we will add here. Inside this we have to add year and articles. So let's say we are starting from the year 2015, and let's give some data. So we'll give some dummy data here, and let's now copy this and paste it. So for suppose we are getting the data for 5 years, so let's take this 16, 17, 18, 19, and one more time 20. Okay, and let's pass some dummy data here. 350, let's say 850, 50, let's say 30, and the last 450. Okay, so now we have our data ready. Now what we will do is we have to create one bar graph, a single bar we will create, and then we will pass this inside a for loop which will basically create all these bar graphs for us. So let's do that. So create a normal bar view. We will create one more class, new file. Let's say this is a SwiftUI file. Let's name it as bar view and create this class. Okay, so let me just close this canvas here. Okay, so inside bar view what we want is, as we have created our this report here, we will sending that report to our this bar graph view, and we'll create that one bar at a time. So let's first accept that report here, which will be of type report. Okay, and now let's create our view. So first what we want is we want a v stack. inside this we will pass our data. So the data is like, first we have to show text, then the view. So suppose this is a rectangle, so let's say rectangle view we will create, and again one text. So let's do that. Text, then one rectangle, and then one more text. Okay, so first, as you see, we have to show some text at the top. So we have to show here the text. So before getting the text, we will get the text from this reports, which is basically inside this articles. So let's do that. So one thing I have to do is I have to format that value, that y value which is coming in double. I need to format that. So I will format that here. So since this body should return only one view at a time, so if I write something else here, then I will get error that we are writing two things inside this. So we have to explicitly write return statement here. So before writing that here, let's see how it gives us the error. So I will create here one y value, which will be my y value for the bar view. Swift dot minimum of, I have to take here report dot my articles I have to take, or it should be minimum of 500, should not be that. So now you can see that it's giving us the warning that two things are returning. So I will say return here. Now the warning is only that I have not used this, so I will use it inside here. So let's say string with format, and here I have to tell %.0f, that I don't want anything after the decimal point, that's why 0f, and here I have to pass my value, that is report.articles. Okay, so now I have done this part where I have to show the value. Now let's use that value here, but before that let's format something. Here we will give some color. So foreground color, let's give it the secondary color, which is this gray color. Then for rectangle I will use fill color, and inside this I will use color dot blue. Then let's use the frame now, which will be the actual height for our this bar view. So let's say width we will give 80, and height we have to pass. So height will be CG float, and inside this the y value which we have calculated here, that will be height, and we don't need this, so let's remove this. Okay, so we have the frame also. Now let's come to the last part where we have to display the year. So let's say report dot year, so it will display the year. Let's give it a foreground color, which will be dot primary, which is this, it's little bit darker. Okay, so now we have our bar view also ready. Now it is giving me error that I haven't passed any report by default, so we don't need this part, so let's remove this. So what we have created till now is we have created one bar view, which is this. We have our data. Okay, now what we will do is we will create one more view which will have our all the bar graphs together. So basically this all the reports which you are seeing here, this all data will be there using the for loop, and that view finally be passed to our main content view, which will display like this. So let's do that. Let's create one view. Again it will be a SwiftUI view. Let's name it bar graph. Okay, so I have created a bar graph. Now let's save it. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to say inside this we need to accept the reports, so from the main view. So let's say reports will be of type array of report, not a single report. Here we have used a single report, but here we will have the complete array of reports. That's why we will get all the bar graphs like this. Okay, so let's start now creating the view. Inside this we will be having an edge stack, because we have to display them horizontally, all the bar views. Let's give them some alignment. So I will tell you alignment why we are doing at the last. So first let's create the views. So as we have number of bar views, so we need to use for each loop here. For each, let's say self dot my reports which I have received. Then I have to pass some ID also, which will be dot self, you can say, but if here we have year unique, so we'll pass the year. And now let's create that array, and inside this we will get one report at a time. So let's say report in. Okay, now we have to display our view. So bar view we have already created here, so let's use that bar view, and inside this we have to pass the report which we have received here. So this report we have passed here, which will go eventually here, and it will create one bar at a time. And since it is inside a for loop, so it will create multiple bars horizontally, because we are using edge stack. And here we have to give alignment also, and that alignment will be like this, dot bottom. Okay, so now I have created my alignment. Now what I will do is I will just give some padding to my views, since my bars have some padding between them. So let's do that, dot padding. Okay, so now we have all our data here, so we don't need this. Let's remove that. Okay, so we have our bar graph and all the bars ready. Now we just need to create our final view, which will use the all the bars which we have created in the bar graph view. So let's get started and create that. So since you can see that at the top I have this my report title, so let's do that. So we'll remove the previous data, and we'll start with a VStack. Inside VStack we will use the text, which will display the title as my report. Okay, then you can see that it has some font, so we will assign that font size and foreground color. So let's say font, and if you want to send a custom size, then what you can do is you can use something like this, dot system size, and here we will pass, for example I have sending 40, then some foreground color which I will use as blue. Okay, so now we have our title ready. Let's just open the canvas to see it. Okay, so we have added our title here. Now I want to add my actual bar graph view, which should scroll horizontally. So to make it scroll horizontally, we need to add scroll view first, and we have to tell our scroll view that it should scroll horizontally. So let's give it the direction that horizontal. Let's create the scroll view, and now inside this we can pass our main bar graph, and to bar graph we need to send reports, so that we will get from my main report dot all function, which is we have created at the start this. Okay, so now you can see we can see our data. Let's run it here and see, and now you can see it's displaying the data completely fine. So let's run it on the actual simulator and see how it looks, and we can check it in the dark mode and light mode also. So now it's running. Okay, so now you can see our data is correctly displayed. So one more thing, if you want to see it in dark mode and light mode, you can directly check here. So just click this icon, first stop this, and you can duplicate it. Let's stop this. Okay, now here inside inspect, what you can do is you can select dark mode, and you can see that extra code is getting added directly, and you can see now in the dark mode how it looks. Also, if you want, you can just click this to duplicate. It will create one more simulator for you, or you can say canvas view, and to change its view to light, so you can directly check how your view looks in dark and light mode at the same time. So thank you guys, this was all about how you can see or how you can create a bar graph in SwiftUI. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you also subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.